Alrighty, welcome back everybody. Before you say anything, I am still doing a charting video. This is going to be a separate video or playlist that I'm going to make on my channel. I will still be doing the charting video and releasing the charting video tonight. I'm going to start a playlist basically explaining all of the ICT concepts and the things that I do explain in my charting sessions that you may or may not understand, because I want to give you a better understanding of it. And this is going to be something I'm going to do. It might be 10, 20 videos based on all the things that I use, and explaining all that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's get right into it. So today we're going to be talking about one of the basic ICT concepts, which we are going to be talking about fair value gaps. Okay, so let's start off about what fair value gaps are. What is a fair value gap? Fair value gaps are imbalances and inefficiencies in price. Fair value gaps always swing bullish or bearish. Either way of the curve, it does not matter. The pattern of fair value gaps are 3 consecutive candles in a row with a middle candle creating a major swing up or swing low, with the wicks on both sides creating a gap in between them using the middle candle. A bullish fair value gap are 3 candles that push to the upside on the buy side of the curve. Bearish fair value gaps are the opposite with 3 candles on the sell side of the curve that create the pattern. So there are some examples right here. For example, right here we have a bullish fair value gap, right? This is on the 5-minute time frame. You can also use fair value gaps on any time frame, really, and I'll explain more of that in a little bit. So right here we have a bullish fair value gap, right? And as you can see, it's an inefficiency in price. So we have this candle right here with this candle right here, and this candle right here creates an imbalance in the price. Okay, simple, right? Not too much. This is a bullish fair value gap. Here we have a bearish fair value gap. We have this candle here, we have this candle here, a middle candle here, creating the imbalance in price. Right, so that's pretty much the basics of what a fair value gap is. It's an inefficiency or an imbalance in price. Bullish or bearish does not matter. Swings both ways at all times, at all times of the day, throughout all time frames. Okay, you can use any time frame, and I'm going to explain a little more on how to use different time frames to find, to use the fair value gaps basically. All right, next, why are fair value gaps or FVG important? So aside from this, if you ever see someone explaining and they write FVG, usually they mean fair value gap, which, like I said before, is inefficiency in price, 3 candlestick pattern. Very, very simple concept, okay? So fair value gaps are important because they give you an idea on where price is headed on multiple different time frames, higher or lower. Fair value gaps can also be used to indicate which side of the curve you could be on. Not always, but sometimes they can help you indicate that, right? So now, how to properly use fair value gaps. Now, this is a good one, right? So how to properly use fair value gaps. Fair value gaps can be used to see where the price is going, whether it's on the buy side of the curve or sell side of the curve. Fair value gaps can be used to get entered into a position as well. Fair value gaps can help you get that extra confluence using other ICT concepts to pair with, right? So here, I'm going to give you guys an example. I put these examples up for you right now. So here, look, we have this major inefficiency in price, right? We have this candlestick here with this candlestick here creates a massive imbalance, right? And then what happens, right? Price is always going to want to draw to that fair value gap most of the time, whether it's on a 1 minute, a 5 minute, 10, 15, 20, 30, 45, hourly, 4-hour, daily chart. No matter what it is, price is going to want to rebalance to those inefficiencies, like I've said in my previous videos. So here we have this, right? This is a prime example of what price likes to do when you have an inefficiency like this. So we, on the 5-minute time frame, we're rallying up, and we come right back into the fair value gap zone, right? Because it needs to be able to fill this imbalance, right? I'm sure you guys know what the word imbalance means. I don't need to explain it for you, but this is usually what happens when price makes its next move. So it comes into this fair value gap and then rallies higher because we're on an uptrend, right? Here's a bearish example, right? And this is an example like your limit order would go here. I like to use fair value gaps along with the other concepts to get entered into a position. So if we're already if we've already made, one swing high and then one swing low and then one swing high and then one swing low, I like to enter out that second swing low because usually 85% of the time it's going to come into a fair value gap or some sort of, um, you know, fair value gap with a breaker block or fair value gap with, something, right? Or a higher time frame fair value gap than what you're on currently. So this is a really good example of is having a limit order right here. Taps your limit order. What does it do? Rallies down, comes down, and starts to continue to the downside. There's another prime example right here for fair value gap. Candle here, inefficiency in price like this. What does it do? It comes in, taps, boom, down. So I do want you guys to understand though that having these specific things, oops, I messed that up, let me put that back, having these, having fair value gaps and things like that, this is only one piece to the puzzle. I don't want you guys to just see a fair value gap and then start entering off of it, because you need the confluence. Why? Because fair value gaps are supposed to help you lead your mind in the direction of where price is going to go. Because if you see price reject off, right? If you see price reject off a fair value gap like it does right there, it comes in halfway, boom, rallies up. That means, whatever position that is, if it's going in and up, that means you're in a bullish trend, right? And that would be a good entry point. But you need to understand why you are taking that position, not just saying that's a fair value gap and taking that position randomly. Because what I'm going to go into right now is what we like to call an inverse fair value gap. Now, I forgot to put an image of this. I'm sorry. I'll add one after I finish this video. But an inverse fair value gap would basically mean if we have price do this, right, comes in here, but instead of rallying higher, what it will do is it will come into here. It will come into this zone, and it will run through it. And then what we'll have is we'll have price come. It'll come back up, boom, tap this down, tap it again, and probably go down to another zone, right? So I do that's what inverse fair value gaps are, is when a fair value gap gets ran through and then it comes and taps it on whatever side it ran through. So like I just showed you, if we're in a bullish fair value gap and it runs through, most of the time what that will mean is there's something on a higher time frame that you're not seeing at whatever interval you're in. And then you can also use the inverse fair value gap, because it'll come down and then it'll tap the bottom of it and then come rally back down. But again, that's not something I want you to immediately start taking, right? I want you to have the confluence with whatever your thing is, because I'm just trying to show you how I trade, why I use it, how it gives me how it helps me enter in positions and things like that, why I use it, all that kind of stuff. So I just want you guys to understand that this isn't something that you can just see and then take, action off of, because it also needs to align with your bias, right? Because if you don't, first of all, if you don't have strategy, you don't trade. Trading without a strategy is the stupidest thing you could possibly do. So I want this playlist that I'm gonna make for you guys to make sense and for you to understand why I do what I do. Okay? Because not only does this help me learn more about these concepts and keep growing with it, it helps you guys get a foundation, right? If I can get you guys to have a foundation, then that's probably the best thing for you. Yeah, so that's kind of the basics of what fair value gaps are. I will be leaving this all these boards and stuff like this, because I'm gonna make these boards. I will be leaving them in the a link in the description, so you can go view it for yourself. I'm not gonna have you change anything like that. It's just so you can come and view it, because I want you guys to be able to come see it. Like I want you guys to be able to come back to this and look and be like, okay, blah 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 blah. Whatever fair value gaps. This is how you use it. This is why you should use it. This is how it helps you. All that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, I'm gonna be leaving this in the link in the description below. So kind of a short video, but that's okay. I just kind of wanted to get this out there, show you what I will be making from now on. I will still be doing charting sessions every day and posting a short, so it'll be like 3 videos a day, which should show some sort of dedication to this channel and everything like that. But yeah, so that's the basics on fair value gaps. And as I grow more, I'm hoping to be able to get into a Discord and kind of do we'll do live trading in the morning, and then at nighttime we'll do charting sessions where you guys can ask me questions, whatever it is, and if I have the answer, I'll answer it for you. But with that, like I said, link in the description. You can find all this information for yourself, fair value gaps. So, yeah, with that, I'm going to leave it there. Hope everyone has a great rest of their evening. Hope everyone had a good trading day, and I'll see you all tomorrow.